Imagine being offered the chance to buy Netflix for just $50 million. Now imagine laughing at that offer. That's exactly what Blockbuster did in the year 2000. At the time, Blockbuster was the king of home entertainment. Netflix was a tiny startup losing money. 10 years later, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. Netflix changed the world. This is the story of the $50 million mistake that destroyed an empire. In the late 1990s, Blockbuster wasn't just successful. It was unstoppable. With more than 9,000 stores worldwide and tens of millions of customers, Blockbuster dominated the movie rental industry. Families visited every weekend. The blue and yellow stores were everywhere. If you wanted to watch a movie, you went to Blockbuster. But there was one thing customers hated: late fees. Forget to return a movie on time, and you'd pay extra. For Blockbuster, late fees generated hundreds of millions of dollars. For customers, they were a nightmare. And somewhere in California, two entrepreneurs saw an opportunity. That company was Netflix. Instead of making people drive to a store, Netflix mailed DVDs directly to customers. No lines, no crowded shelves, and eventually no late fees. But there was a problem. Netflix was struggling. The company was losing money and needed help. So in 2000, Netflix founders Reed Hastings and Marc Randolph approached Blockbuster with a proposal. Buy Netflix. The asking price: just $50 million. For Blockbuster, that amount was pocket change. But executives looked at Netflix and saw a tiny internet company with an uncertain future. They believed customers would always prefer physical stores. According to multiple accounts, Blockbuster leadership dismissed the idea and declined the deal. It would become one of the worst business decisions in history. While Blockbuster focused on protecting its existing business, Netflix focused on the future. Internet speeds improved. DVD subscriptions exploded. Consumers loved convenience. Netflix wasn't competing with Blockbuster's stores. It was competing against the need to leave home. That's a battle Blockbuster never understood. By the mid-2000s, Netflix was growing rapidly. Only then did Blockbuster realize the threat. The company launched its own online rental service. But it was already playing catch-up. Netflix kept innovating. Blockbuster kept reacting. And in business, the company that reacts is usually the company that loses. Then came the real disruption: streaming. In 2007, Netflix began moving beyond DVDs and into online video streaming. Most people didn't realize it at the time. But this wasn't a new feature. It was the future of entertainment. While Netflix was reinventing itself, Blockbuster was trapped by thousands of expensive retail locations and massive operational costs. Its greatest strength had become its biggest weakness. The world was moving online. Blockbuster was still thinking in aisles and shelves. The results were brutal. Customers left. Revenue declined. Debt piled up. Competition from Netflix, video-on-demand services, and changing consumer habits pushed Blockbuster closer to collapse. In 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. The company that once dominated an entire industry had fallen. Meanwhile, Netflix continued to grow. What started as a DVD-by-mail startup became one of the most influential entertainment companies on Earth. All after Blockbuster passed on the chance to own it. The real story isn't that Blockbuster missed Netflix. The real story is that Blockbuster underestimated change. They believed their size made them safe. They believed customers would never change their habits. They believed the future would look like the present. They were wronged. Because in business, the biggest threat isn't competition. It's believing that your success today guarantees success tomorrow. And sometimes, the difference between becoming a trillion-dollar idea and becoming a business case study is a single decision worth $50 million. And Blockbuster made the wrong one. Final line for Business Vault. Business Vault, where history's biggest business wins and failures leave clues for the future.